Well, everybody, welcome back to Persephone Says. I am so excited. As promised, I am bringing on for the very first time, and probably for multiple times over, Eduardo Maglaya, my husband, my everything partner in crime. And we're going to talk about the realities of working together and raising a family. And I guess we're 17 years into our relationship. So staying happy and in love still, hopefully.
Very happy.
So welcome, Eduardo.
Thank you for having me. Welcome.
We can't jack what Dax and Monica do already.
Does they have that trademarked? Oh my gosh.
Probably. I'm not trying to get sued right off of the bat, you know? So I'm excited to talk because I think it's the number one question that people always ask me because they see how we are on social media. And I think social media is obviously curated. I tried to keep it as, very authentic as you can possibly be. But I do think that, we have absolutely, I can't say we've mastered working together, but I feel like we've gotten as close as you can master the art of working together and then preserving the relationship.
I'm actually shocked that that is the number one question you get, because the number one question that I get is generally like, wow, how do you guys maintain such a beautiful family of amazing hair? And that's number one.
2 for me.
I think it's flip-flop for me, so it's fine. But yes, I'm excited to talk about it.
Last time I spoke a bit about how we started the business together. Mm-hmm. And how we were learning Instagram and you were teaching yourself Facebook. And then we came to this point of like, I really need you to help propel us forward. Mm-hmm. And so in March of 2020, he was supposed to leave his job. And then COVID happened. And then January
4th, 2021.
Yeah, on your birthday, you quit. That was so fucking awesome.
What a great birthday present.
No, it was so amazing. And then we moved our family, like literally uprooted our family to Dallas. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's actually when like the reality of everything just like hit us.
In August?
Yeah.
I would say that the reality of being part of the business was definitely on my birthday. Mm-hmm. It was a great birthday present because I got to actually like tell my job, I'm like, hey, I'm finally leaving. And I've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah. So, yeah. What was the response from your friends and family?
Oh my gosh. So it's funny. You asked me why I was researching like before this.
Yeah. So he's fucking researching. I was like, we're talking about us, okay?
Yeah, but I was just like, I just wanted to.
You don't have to research us.
No, it's not research us, but like I was just trying to understand like the mindset of entrepreneurs and like how do they get, what happens to them when they start their business, whether it be with relationships, friends, family, etc.
Ooh, okay.
And so I actually told ChatGPT, like, this is how I'm feeling. Mm-hmm. This is kind of what happened. Like, is there a word for this? And the entrepreneurial dilemma is what it came up with.
Ooh.
Which is essentially just like the moment a person starts their own business, it's like the relationships they have just become a little bit awkward because people don't understand what it's like to run your own business. Mm-hmm. And
it's psychotic behavior.
Well, yeah. There's so many stresses that people don't typically think about that the entrepreneur has to think about, which is, payroll and scaling and, people management and all of those things that as a W-2 employee, you just don't think about. Mm-hmm. And I just, again, that research, I was like, I'm looking for a phrase that, we could say on the podcast that's interesting. I think that was really cool.
Yeah.
For it to come up with that.
The reality is that our world completely shifted and our like network became us. It was like,
yeah,
us and our friends were the people we were working with.
Yeah.
And I do think that, I mean, to me, it just felt more real, if anything. But do you feel like there was some apprehension of, technically on paper, I am your boss? Like, did you feel weird about that before you were like fully in the media socialites land?
Did I feel weird about it? No, I don't think I felt weird about it. I think we've always had this dynamic that this is going to be a partnership. So like, yes, you're my boss on paper, but in the way that our dynamic is, that you are not.
Right.
Because we tend to make decisions very much together.
Yeah.
And honestly, we're generally aligned on most of those things. Did it feel weird to be my boss?
No, until I had to like shift the gear. And I think that's what I was talking about when we moved to Dallas. You know, you see your spouse as your spouse and you see them like in all of the sparkly lights, and then you see, you know, the edges as well, and you come to know what those are. But to work with someone, just like you work with any other colleague, you see the sparkle and then you also see the fray. And like when I was feeling, and I'm sure the reverse holds true as well, but you know, I am a very black and white person, and I hold that pretty much across every single realm of my life. But when that started to come at you as a colleague, I mean, it was a challenge. Like, we don't need to sugarcoat it. It was a fucking challenge.
Well, yeah, people generally say, oh, mom and dad are fighting.
They do say that. We're not yelling at each other.
No.
Never, ever, ever.
But I mean, there's tense moments, there's passionate moments where we're passionate about a certain subject. And I think that, you know, it's funny to think about it from their perspective, because they're just like...
Anytime it's happened, when there's like a little bit of, it's like...
Yeah, they're like, what do do I say anything? What do I do with my hands?
Yeah. Poor Richard, one of my best friends who will probably be on here very soon. I think he's one of the only ones who's experienced it in person and like wanted to hide under the table.
Yeah.
You know?
And those moments happen. I mean, it's the reality of it is that, but I think we've done a very good job of separating that. You know?
But we didn't always. And that's what I really want to be honest about.
Yeah.
I think when we first moved here, and again, like, we didn't have any friends. We had each other. Thank God we had a really strong relationship. But at the same time, you were finding your own footing. And at the time, I think you came in as operations.
Yeah.
And you were also doing email, and you're also doing paid.
Yeah.
I mean, we were just growing at an extremely crazy pace. And so as I was like wearing a billion hats that didn't make any fucking sense to wear. But I think where we were just butting heads was that I learned, I needed to speak to you in a different way when it came to business, and I could be direct, but I needed to also make sure that I wasn't saying something that you could take as like a personal attack. And then also, I needed you to just be honest when you needed help. And that was the first time where, like, usually in our personal life, I'm asking for your help.
Yeah. And
it was uncomfortable for you to ask me for help.
Yeah. I would. So I'm just going to be honest about it. Like,
you should.
As a man with a woman as their boss, there's tended to be friction, right? Like, because the man has this much.
I thought you said that there was no issue of
no.
Being your
Well,
boss.
I mean, I'm more woke than most. But you know, there's this. I don't know. It's culturally, maybe it's something that obviously from in history that like men
Movies,
just tend to be the boss and the women was not, and that's obviously changed now. But I think that type of like. I don't even know how to
power
say
dynamic.
It. It's like, yeah, that type of power dynamic still affects men in particular because of like the machismo, I need to be the boss, I wear the pants sort of mentality. And that was something that I struggled with, I would say, for the better part of 2021, for sure.
Yeah. But that shocked me. Like, I wasn't predicting that. That was not on my bingo card of like the challenges that we were going to have, because you are such a secure man. And even then you were a secure man. But I was like, why are we, like, what is happening right now?
Yeah.
It was just uncharted territory for us.
It definitely was. I struggled, like, not necessarily, not confidence, but it was more of,
I think it was.
There was part of it was, yes, 100%. Like, it's very, trying to find your footing in what you're doing, especially when you are never done this before, can be very, I don't know, have a lot of fear about it, a lot of, it was scary. And all of those feelings, I think, just kind of jumbled up. And then trying to figure out this dynamic between us made it a little bit difficult. Especially, I mean, for me, I'm speaking from my perspective.
Oh, for me too. I didn't know. I mean, we are each other's person. So normally when something is wrong in any other facet of our lives, we're telling each other. And I'm like, where the fuck am I going to go?
Yeah.
Like, where the fuck am I going to go? I can't bitch about you to you. Like,
yeah. That was tough also.
It felt very isolating for a while. And I kept saying that I feel so isolated. Like, I feel like my world is a little bit like I'm being boxed in. And I remember you just being like, I don't, like, what am I doing? How can I fix that?
Yeah.
But I do think it's important for us to also be honest with the conversations we had leading up to you coming on full time, where we made a promise to each other that if this didn't work from a work setting, that you would go.
Yes.
And because in our world, in our lives, our marriage is first, the kids are second, the business is third.
Of course.
And I think that has, at times when it's been a big challenge, and thankfully it hasn't been a big challenge in quite some time, but when it was, we would like, okay, that is still
this is still the agreement.
This is still here, right? We didn't write it down, but I mean, we didn't need to. And I do think that that's helped me feel confident in the process.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, at the end of the day, I love you, and that's it. And I remember even in 22 that there was a period of time where when we were trying to figure out your lane, because again, you were doing ops, you were doing performance, and it was like, you know what? He needs a lane. Like, I'm comfortable wearing 70 hats. He needs a lane. And that was something I learned about you working with you. So again, it's like,
yeah, I'm comfortable wearing like 3 hats. Not 70.
Not 70.
Yeah.
And you're right. And that you needed me to define that. You needed help coming up with that together. And I think that was like step one in moving into a good space.
Yeah.
Because it was like, this is performance, you own this, and this is my lane. These are my 70 lanes.
Yeah.
Or maybe.
Well, I'm not very, I would say for me, we've always had this dynamic. You're the strategist, you're the idea, I'm the executor. And that's where trying to say like, oh, hey, define what you do was difficult for me, because I'm like, I don't know. I just don't see myself in that way. So I needed someone to say like, these are your 3 lanes. Like you can operate within these. And that's what I do today. I mean, I wear more hats now that I've been able to really nail down like what I'm doing in those 3 lanes. Now I can start to put other hats on, but like it was always a need for somebody to define that for me because I couldn't do it for myself.
Yeah. And I also think, I mean, our upbringing was totally different. My dad is a serial entrepreneur, and you've lived in a world where your parents had like very staple government jobs. And so I think I was asking something of you that was like so foreign and honestly unfair. And so it was like, okay, I need to recognize that this isn't just like, this is like how you were put together. Like, this is your foundation. I'm asking you to change your foundation. That's not fair.
Yeah.
So I think that helped. But I do remember that there was a period of time where you were like, when I would question something, because I question everybody.
Yeah,
like, that's my job, is to question everybody. And not in like a, are you doing this wrong way, but like, so I can understand or find a better way or whatever. And it would boil down to like, you know, you took it as me not having confidence in your ability, or like I was just doing you a solid by bringing you on in this role. Do you remember how many times we had this conversation? And it would go back to like, I love you very much. I know a lot of smart people, a lot. So if I thought there was someone better to do this job, I would just hire them.
Yeah.
And like keep it a lot cleaner and honestly probably a lot easier for the rest of my life. And I remember one day that just clicked.
Yeah.
And you believed me. And then I feel like you believed in yourself simultaneously.
Well, there's a lot of therapy there.
Not together.
No, not together, like separately. We both have our own therapists. We go to therapy separately for obviously different reasons. But one of the biggest reasons I started to go to therapy was like, I remember sitting down in can I say her name?
It's fine.
In DW's chair and being like,
that was our
well, here's the
therapist.
reason. Yeah, this is my first therapist. I was like, here's the reason why I want to go to therapy. One, not to like pass over my baggage to my children, but like the other one is that like, I feel very nervous getting on the phone with people, and, you know, I felt like my confidence wasn't there from a business perspective. And I know it had a lot to do with like family of origin and things that I've gone through and so on and so forth. But my point in saying that is that the clicking part was just understanding that like what you're saying is not personal for me. And it took me the better part of like 4 or 5 years to even get to that point. But it was like, you're not attacking my character. You're just telling me that this thing is wrong. And I think once I started to like break it down that way, like I still do it today. I did it last week where I was like, I know what you're doing and like how you're feeling right now is not because of me. It's not directed towards me. It is because of this issue. And I even said it out loud, and that's what I think in my head now.
Yeah. That's something that we've learned though to do.
100%.
Because sometimes we're both so passionate about something and it sounds loud, but it's not. And I'll like cushion it by like, I'm not yelling at you. I'm just so angry about this.
Yeah.
I'm so frustrated about this specific thing.
Well, I think that in the other part of the therapy thing was like communication was such a thing that I lacked.
You said it.
I lacked it a lot. And that has obviously been something that we've been working on
we'll always work on it, I think.
Totally. But the part about stating like, these are my intentions was not something I was used to. Right.
Even as a child. Was I.
I don't know. You're much better at it. You're much more direct. Like you're much more like, hey, this is what yeah, sure. Could it 100%. But like, you're much more like, this is what I'm looking for. Period. Where me, I'm like, I'm looking for this, but I'm also going to dance around this whole thing and like kind of fluff it up. And you're not really, I'm not really getting to the point of what I'm actually wanting. And I think that is, I'd probably say this year has been, I'm sorry, not this year. Last year was probably the year that I've really kind of like honed in on that piece of it, which was to say like, this is exactly what I want with my request, like whatever it is. And I think that started to kind of change the dynamic and evolve the dynamic because I've started to internalize that and start to use those tools that my therapist has given me.
We love Steffers.
Yeah, we do love Steffers. She's the best.
Yeah. I mean, I agree completely. I think when it comes to communication, I've always come from a place of over communication, and sometimes that's not always great. And what I've learned here in Dallas too, like I've had to tweak that version of myself because sometimes it can come off as abrasive to some people. But that's always the way I've been to our kids, to you, to my family, to my friends. It's always been the same. And so it was really hard when there was some periods of time where you didn't want to let me down.
Totally.
And by not communicating in business, it was like impacting other parts of our life because I was taking it as like, you're disrespecting me.
Yeah.
And you are not communicating with me. And that we had to definitely work through. And I do agree with you. Last year, at the top of last year, we kind of came to this, like, I was just like, I can't handle not feeling respected professionally because it's hurting my feelings.
Yeah.
And I just kind of broke down about it because I was like, I know you don't mean this like this, but it's offensive as fuck.
Yeah.
And something just like changed.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd love for you to just talk about like how, like, why you kept deferring to not sharing. Like, what was going on in your mind where you were just like, I'd rather just keep this to myself. I'm gonna keep this to myself.
Yeah.
Like, what was that?
So I would say that, like, for the better part of 2021, especially, it was probably the worst then, and it's gradually gotten better to where I am today, where
big time better.
Like, I'm more straightforward whether it's good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, kind of going back to therapy of like the confidence part of it, that like in my head, if I did something wrong, whether it be small or big or whatever, that in my head, I automatically was like, I'm failing. Mm-hmm. I'm failing her. I'm failing my family. I'm failing myself. And again, it could be the smallest thing. Like, it didn't even have to be something super major. And that is a part that's like, and I think a lot of people struggle with this anyway, but
totally.
For me, it was like, just because I didn't send this report to this client doesn't mean I'm a failure.
Right.
Right. But it took me a good amount of time to come to that realization, especially when you were saying it, because I'd be like, oh shit, she called me out. I'm exposed. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, oh, I'm not good at my job. Oh, I'm not, you know, I don't know what I'm talking about. Like, oh, everything is going to fall apart. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm a house of cards, and like nothing is actually true of what I do and what I know and what my expertise is and all of that. And that was not true. Mm-hmm. Right. But it was something that I battled with for a very long time.
I fucking hate that.
I mean, I do too. And it's not something that ever goes away. Like I said, everybody probably deals with this. Mm-hmm. It just gets better over time.
Yeah, I feel like once you believed that when I was saying you are smart, you are smart, you are smart.
Yeah.
And other people were like, you are smart. I don't know which voice you finally heard, but hopefully you heard your own voice on like, I am fucking smart and I do know what I'm doing here. And I am very capable. And I think it was also once you relinquished some control and started to build the team, you asked for one person. I mean, he was managing all the data and campaigns and everything for like 60 clients at one point by yourself. It was obscene. It was obscene. So of course there's going to be errors. Like, but he was like, no, you know, we can't afford to hire anyone else. Meanwhile, we're like bleeding out, hiring way too many people in other parts of the business. But it's like, and I remember a realization you and I had together. It's like, I mean, if we can hire over here, we can definitely hire over here.
Yeah, totally.
Right, this is like where I
actually asked ChatGPT this too.
Oh God. Okay.
And his name is Mike. We call ChatGPT Mike. It's called founder syndrome. Mm-hmm. It's like you don't want to relinquish control. You don't want to ask for help. You feel very personal for the success and the failure of the business. And the relinquishing of the control piece was it was tied to the confidence part of it, which is like, well, if somebody else does it, then I don't. Everybody sees me for not knowing
what's my job?
Yeah, what's my job? But everybody, you think like, oh, Eddie didn't know what the hell he was talking about because this guy's in here and he's doing everything, and it's like that isn't the case. And it took me a lot of time, 2 years or so, to figure that out. And then we hired 3 or 4 guys, and they're amazing. And I've been so much better about it because the control part of it was like, one, if I don't keep this, then like, does everybody think I'm not doing anything? Right. And then the other part of it is, if I don't keep this, does everybody think I'm an idiot?
Right.
Right. And then, but in the reality of it is that like, and it took me so long to figure this out, is that if I don't work on this thing and Liam does this thing, then I can do this other thing that has been on the list of things for me to do that
more of an owner.
That I haven't been able to do because I'm doing this other thing that I'm going to relinquish, right? And really understanding the value of that took a very long time. But now I'm like, we just onboarded this marketing analytics team to like help us do a lot of things that my team is currently trying to do. And they're not big things. They're very little things that pile up to be big things. And like last week I was like, man, I'm so happy these guys are here. Like I don't have to like be like, Liam, let's fix this, or Jake, let's fix it. It's like, nope, these guys who this is their core competency, they can do it, and they can do it very quickly. And it makes, I don't know, it's just a sense of relief.
Yeah.
And again, that took me so long to figure out. But for you, it was very natural.
Yeah. But again, I think that's because of my upbringing is different. Yeah. Like I've always been just an abundance mentality. And I mean,
oof. That's a topic.
Yeah. I have never thought in scarcity in my life. And every so often when you just have like an off day, I mean, last year was weird. So we talked about last year on the last episode. I mean, that was the only time I started to get it a little bit into my head, but still I'm like, what the fuck is like, bitch, get up. Like, I know what I'm doing, and I know that I can sell. I know that I'm a good fucking leader. I know that I'm a good fucking CEO, and the money always comes, and the right opportunity always comes. And if you work really hard, you get X. Like that has always worked out for me. And I do think that especially when we first started working together, you were coming at me with such a scarcity mentality. And I was like, I need you to take that energy.
Yeah.
And like talk to somebody. and you did.
Yeah.
But also just anybody but me. Like, because telling me that things are all fucked up or whatever, I'm like, when they're like, are they or aren't they?
Yeah.
I need things said to me in a specific way, not in a delusional way.
Yeah.
But not in a hyper negative way at the same time.
Sure.
Because I have to protect my own peace. And I think that was also an adjustment that we needed to, make together as well.
Yeah. I mean, I think in all aspects of our dynamic, we balance each other because you're very, obviously abundance mentality, but like the scarcity mentality that I bring, I think grounds you a little bit. And I think that's
sometimes.
A good thing.
Sometimes.
Right? Yeah, I would say sometimes, but it is very helpful because we all can't be super positive all the time.
Yeah.
Right? There has to be somebody to like be like, all right, dude, here's some negativity because you need a little bit of that to ground you. But I think that's why we work very well together, because while we did grow up very differently, I think the characteristics that we bring to the table balance each other out. Very yin and yang.
I think so.
But I think, you bring up a good kind of topic, which is, you mentioned it earlier, which was like, oh, how did your friends take it? How did your family take it that you're starting your own business? It can be very lonely. I think more lonely for you As the ultimate supreme leader of the media socialites.
More the face. That's really what it is.
But I guess where I'm going with that is that, like, one, it's very hard to relate to others, and for others to relate to us because they don't know what it's like to run our own business. So I feel like people just don't like, because we're not W-2 employees and our friends are, they ultimately are just like, oh, I don't have anything in common with these people anymore. And that's very odd, actually.
It got weird.
It did get very weird. Mm-hmm. It's like they don't know what questions to ask me. It's like, just ask me how my day was.
I know. Thankfully, we found our people.
100%.
But it took a while.
Yeah.
And I also feel like there was like a weird cloud over us from our friends at the time.
Yeah.
Where we weren't as available. We were growing our business. We moved. All of these things happened. We were moving from a business perspective at such a fast pace and traveling all over all the time.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it was just bizarre. But I started feeling that before you did.
Yeah.
And I sensed that, I mean, it's not lovely to say, but I think when you are a working woman, you're already you're placed in a different box. And then when you are a female CEO who will travel away from their family from time to time to do business, there's like unspoken judgment there. And so I found myself just like, oop, 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 like, who do I talk to? Who do I talk to about this? You and my dad, but like, you're both not women. My dad, raised me solo without judgment, without any judgment, for working as hard as he did and traveling as much as he did. Like, no one gave a fuck. So it did feel isolating for me. And then I felt like, are my friends even rooting for me anymore? Like, the people that I thought were friends, like, are they really rooting for me? And that felt like a house of cards for me. I know you know that.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely, of my friends from a certain period of my life, there were the ones that didn't understand and then did kind of just like let it affect how they perceived or like even interacted with me. And then there was very few, but the ones that were open to understanding what we're going through or how we operate or, what our daily life is like. And it's really, I would say there's only really one from my past that truly does that.
I would agree.
And it sucks. And it's not like we became Martians, right? Like it's very odd that like people tie their existence to what they do and who they are, and then try to find commonality with other people because of it. It's like, guys, I'm still a human. We're still friends. I still, do fantasy football and like, I still work out. Like we have plenty of things in common, but just because I don't work a W-2 job doesn't mean I'm not like, I don't know.
I agree with you.
It was very odd.
I agree with you. So my best friend from high school, Tara, she'll say certain things like, and she, I think, has believed in me the most of any friend and like has been right there with me of any of my friends throughout my history. But sometimes she'll be like, but it's nothing in comparison. And I'm like, bitch, it's not a comparison. That is a lot for your world and your work, and my world and work are just like the same but different, right?
Yeah.
I do think that we had to go through that and kind of like find a new set of people, quite frankly.
Totally.
Like we actually had to. And again, I felt that before that wave hit you.
Yeah.
Because it was like hitting me and like bringing me down.
Yeah.
And I do think, I spoke about like how I tried to convert a lot of my friends into family employees in like that process, as you know. But I would love to also hear, we've actually never really spoken about this, about how, working together has impacted our family life, how it's impacted the romance in our life. Like, how do you feel like how do you like make sure that we're still good?
Well, I would say that it doesn't like okay, I'll start with family.
Okay.
I mean, the boys we've always explained to them what's happening, and
since they were babies,
never talk to them as babies, as talk about them as like they're little humans. So we've always explained to them in very, very specific detail of like what we do, how we do it, why mommy's gone, why daddy's gone, like that sort of thing. So I think it's always been, and I honestly, they don't really know life without us owning TMS.
No, they don't. They don't.
Yeah. I mean,
we started TMS before they were born.
Right. But like I was in full time until they were
3.
They were 3. But that's when they like cognitively can kind of understand. So like they've really never known me as like the sales guy. Right. So
the software sales guy.
So I think it's just been, from a family perspective, it's very normal. Like this is just how it is. It is what it is. We've always been this way. From our relationship standpoint.
Hold on, I want to stop you.
Oh, go ahead.
So when what I'm specifically talking about is like, okay, we have a rough day at work. Yeah. Something happened and it's tense.
Sure.
Then how do you deal with that at home? Because home and work are the same place.
Yeah. I mean, I said it before, like I have to look at the situation and be like, first of all, it's not me. Like I didn't do anything wrong today. Or I didn't drop a ball that caused this, like whether it be the frustration that's happening. And so separating that, then from a personal perspective, I'm like, okay, now I have to deal with the problem, which is something is happening within the business that is frustrating you and, partially me, even though I'm not always like in front of it. I have to like just let you talk, I guess, give you an opportunity to just vent about it. And I think when I separate and I actually like look at it very like myopically of like, what's the problem? Is it me? If it's not, then, I can act it accordingly. It's like giving you the space to just like talk about it, I think helps a lot. We are certainly not, it's not something that we let affect us, I think. And that's
not for extended periods of time.
No, not for extended periods of time at all. And I think, it is what it is. Like our business is our home is our business. Like those things are going to exist. So I have to learn how to deal with it.
Do you like working with me?
Yeah, of course.
Hey.
Well, we don't really work next to each other either. So that's like,
I wish we did.
We used to have a conjoined office in our house in Virginia.
That was horrible.
Honestly, we never even actually sat in the same room at the same time and did work together. So
that's true.
It's not like
it's because your voice was so,
well, yeah, I've
thunderous, if you will.
Yes, I have a very loud voice.
You do. You do, especially when you're passionate on the phone. But I'm the one who's supposed to be on the phone more.
Yeah. So we don't like sit next to each other and work together. So like, do I like working with you? Absolutely.
There was a period over the summer where we decided to move to the kitchen table just so that we could watch Love Island and work together literally next to one another. That was fun.
That was fun.
Yeah. Sometimes there's that.
I do like working with you. Yeah, I think it's fun. I think, even
when it's hard, it's fun. It's better than not. I feel like I always go back to that. Like I would never want to change it.
No.
Especially now. I can't imagine.
Well, do you like working with me?
I love it, actually. It makes me so proud when people will comment on you, not knowing initially that we're married. That's always like the best when they say something about you and I'm like, oh, also he's my husband. They like don't follow us or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That makes me so proud. I also just love seeing when you're like owning something, owning the relationship, totally stepping in where I become the most non-important person in the room. That is amazing for me on multiple levels. But I think it's like just seeing you really operate in your power is rewarding because I've always seen you very clearly. And I think when you were talking earlier about just this lack of confidence, I got very stuck because Eddie and I met in college, and Eddie, it still does, has a big personality, a lot of bravado, a lot of swag. And so it was like, for you to say you don't have confidence is like, who I'm seeing, you're like dimming your own light. It felt like you were dimming your own light. I wasn't asking you to do that nor wanting that of you. And I was like, I don't know why you can't just see yourself the way that I see you. Like I'm dying for you to just do that. And I feel like you're there or as close as humanly possible, which makes me super happy.
That's nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm not my biggest cheerleader. I can't be.
No.
I've never operated that way. So it's nice that you are
Always.
You're the one there to brag for me.
Absolutely. I feel like you do the same for me.
Yeah.
You know, but I also cheerlead myself.
Yeah, that's 100% true. That happens very often.
It's the only child in me. It's like you could cheer for me or I could cheer for myself and it's fine either way. No, but I feel like that for me is like what I have to do in order to own a business and like not cry myself to sleep at night.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
But I also want to know, you've always been a romantic person no matter.
Ooh.
I know.
Okay.
Our parents can shut this off now.
Oh my God.
I just feel like you've always been that person.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like we've been able to maintain just being romantic and still loving each other deeply and still having like hard and good conversations and all of that. And I just want to know from your perspective how you, especially last year when it was like a hurricane of shit.
Yeah.
Like in your mind, how did we survive?
How did we survive? Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, I love you.
Love you more.
And you're so hot. So that's
Thanks,
like
babe.
a plus.
Plus, I've like reinvented myself a couple times now.
Yeah, totally.
I don't even look like the same person you married
No.
a year ago.
And I look exactly the same.
You do.
I have different clothes, better clothes. But,
Yeah, better hair too.
But I look exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, well, I've always had good hair.
Yeah.
But how I don't know. Like, again, going back to like separating like us from the business. It's like, I love you and I still have to do my husband duties, right? I still have to show you attention.
Mm-hmm.
I still have to be kind and use words of affirmation.
Mm-hmm.
And it helps that we like do the same things, right?
Yeah.
Like we meditate
Mm-hmm.
and, you know, I'm now a journaler, which is really weird.
Finally.
I mean, first time, honestly.
First consistent time.
First consistent time, yes.
Yeah.
So I'm like a month and a half in. I mean, that's amazing. Honestly, huge progress for me. I'll just pat myself on
Yes.
the back.
Amazing.
But I feel like we've always been aligned on a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very natural to love you.
You're the best. I think when there are harder times with our kids, I mean, it's always like that, right? It's always like a ring of fire at times where there's like a bunch of shit happening at work and a bunch of shit happening with our kids and it's just tense. And you'll pull me aside and you'll be like, I love you, right? Like, this is just work.
Yeah.
And I hope that you feel that from me too, where I'm like,
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, you do the same thing, but I think that's the communication part that
Mm-hmm.
like, and I feel like I've only started doing that last year.
Mm-hmm. It was last year.
Yeah. So like the better part of like almost 3 years of not operating in that way, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just the fact, right? Like there might be a whole shitstorm of stuff happening, but
Mm-hmm.
hey, I still love you. So that's all that really matters. Right. And like, you know, I don't know, you're so optimistic, right? Like, so even when things are going bad or, you know, whatever they are, things are tough. I don't want to say bad, but when things are tough with the business.
It was tough last year. It was like, and there's a lot of other personal things that I'm sure we'll cover at some point.
But I think when one of the things that you're very good at is to come to me, and because I'm much more of a worrier than you know. So for you to just say, hey, we're going to be all right. It helps, right? And then it just changes my whole like state of being.
Because I think last year in particular, it was like, okay, I'm really not happy at work. Like, I don't think either one of us were happy at work. We enjoyed working together, but there was a lot of hard things that were going on. And then like a circle of terrible things that happened in our personal life as well. And I shared that the only thing that I felt like, oh, thank God, is you and Roman and Laurent. Like everything else can burn down. I don't want it to. I don't think I should say that. I'm sorry. That was insensitive because of everything that just happened in LA. Yeah. I'm sorry. Ooh. Everything else can disappear and I'm still good with you. And I feel even more connected in that way because I mean, I do think there was death. There was just up and down in our business. There was people being really terrible and lying and cheating and stealing literally in our business.
Yeah.
And lawsuits and like, it was just traumatic.
Yeah.
Last year was traumatic. And I think that would typically break some couples, especially those that work together.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my God, I just can't even imagine breathing like without you.
Yeah.
Not in a codependent way, but just like because I want to be
or
next to you.
in a little bit of a codependent way.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I've actually started to like unpack my codependency.
I think people get so wrapped up in their day to day that, and we do this too. So I'm not saying that we don't do this. And it's, you know, at the end of the day, when you level set and you say, okay, I have my family, I have my, you know, I have my health, I have love. That's it. Like everything else can go to shit and we're going to be all right. Right? Like, money is only a thing. You can make more of it.
We always make more of it.
Sure. 100%. And like, you know, you also have to remind yourself that like, we're so lucky to have what we have and we're blessed and, you know, I don't know. We're not going to be on the street. Right. Like, and that helps a lot actually.
Yeah.
More so. And I think people devalue that and they don't really think about it often because they're so wrapped up in like the drama of their day to day that to level set and say like, these are the things that I have. I'm good. Like it makes a lot of difference, I think.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. We like to live bigger. We're in Dallas.
Yeah.
You know, we do. And I think that last year we just like poured all of our energy into our family and into our business. And that was it. And that was really the first time where we just like, it was the hardest on so many levels. We had been challenged at honestly every level with our kids. Like there were things that happened to our kids that were just unfounded. And it was like how we just kept coming together. I do think it's the thing that I'm proudest of.
Yeah.
Because even one or two of those things could have broken a lot of people. And I feel like we haven't ever had anything just like true earthquake on us. Genuinely. And I'm like, still love this motherfucker. I still want to be with you. I still want to be with your crazy ass.
I mean, coming off of 2023, which was like arguably the best year in business, right? Like we traveled the most internationally. We brought our kids with us for most of those, like, or for some of them. it was a great year for the business, like relatively less rocky than 2024 is like, you go from your best year to a shitty year. It's like those things happen. Ebbs and flows is life always.
For sure. I think where I struggle with that is, and I know I was sharing this the other day, I feel like I blacked out 2022 and 23. I don't think I realized how little I was enjoying the process, how little I was like appreciating the small things, and was so focused on just the climb, more is more, faster, harder. And I look at myself in pictures. I literally just sent yesterday a video to Eddie, and I was like, I don't look like myself. I look miserable. I was horribly depressed, but I didn't know that at the time. And I don't think I was articulating it very much, other than like, I feel so alone. I know I said that to you. I just feel so alone. And you're like, what can I do?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know.
It's interesting because especially 2024, 2023 and 2022, you had this like vision of what you wanted the company to be. And that translated into the more is more mentality, where I didn't really feel similarly, and I think that in and of itself, like, I think it put you in a place where you focused on just that climb, where you then negated everything else.
Literally everything else, especially myself.
And then 2024 was kind of a humbling year for us. For the business, for everything. And it was so needed because I think it realigned expectations for what we actually want for the business. It realigned us, I think.
Yeah, I think it was less about the business and more about like, I legit blacked the fuck out.
It's funny because I in my head, like as we're talking on this podcast, like I'm like, I feel like it's very weird. I'm like, shall I say something, thinking that we're like live on the radio?
You can just say whatever you want to say.
Well, you wanted to like grow the business to this like $100 million company.
Yeah, I'm still growing it to $100 million.
No, I know. I know that.
But you asked me, would you be happy with 50? And I said, yes.
Yeah. And
but one of us has to be that way.
That's what 100%. And that's why I think the balance of the way that you operate and the way that I look at things is great because it does balance. Like, it's better to have a $50 million profitable business than $100 million being stretched to the fucking bones, right?
Yeah.
Like, those things are very real. But I think realigning ourselves to say like, we'll take less revenue, but be more profitable puts us in a better spot, setting goals for the business, to the decisions that we make, and who we hire and why we hire them.
Yeah.
Right. Those things are all really, really important. And while 2024 sucked, like I am so thankful for the year that we could take a step back and like be like, oh fuck, like this is hard and we made it.
Well, I wasn't really listening to you until I was listening to you.
I mean, that's the general, like, it's
Yeah,
kind
I
of,
was just like-
it's very much how it operates. It's totally fine. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, there have been multiple times in the past 2 years in particular where you were like, yo, pay attention to this. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, when it comes to business.
It's true.
I learned. I heard you.
Yeah.
Eventually.
But big dreamers are good.
Yeah, you have to.
You have to have that little negative Nancy to be like.
That wet fucking blanket in the corner.
Sometimes you gotta be the wet blanket.
Like,
I mean, there's. It's all right. Hey, look, to all those wet blankets out there, it's okay. Be that wet blanket.
I mean, it's my least favorite quality.
I mean, look, sometimes I have to be that to like make sure that we, stay grounded.
No, I agree. I think that's important. I think that's important. But no, I mean, I feel like there's so much ground that we covered, and I'm glad that we started the conversation.
Totally.
I would love for you to come back.
Oh my God. Can I please? That would be wonderful. I would love to come back.
Yeah, no, I think it's really helpful because I do think, I think our lives together is absolutely amazing. And when people hear me wax poetic about how obsessed I am with you, like I mean it, obviously.
Truly.
Because some people say like, I know it's social media, but that's always what it is. Like, but you look like you're really in love. And I'm like, I am.
Yeah.
And two things can exist at once where for the first time we had a couple of like, just what the fuck is going on kind of years where we were on shaky ground, not on our, it impacted our marriage, but
totally.
It didn't hurt it in any capacity. It just impacted it.
Yeah.
It's like being in a car accident.
Oh my God. What an awful reference.
We're going to cut that part out.
Yeah,
maybe.
we are.
But genuinely, I think that over romanticizing any relationship isn't healthy.
Totally.
And so I just think and really appreciate for like you being so honest and transparent and for being here with me.
Absolutely. There's always good. There's always bad.
Yeah.
It can't always be good. It can't always be bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's how it is.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.